What's good, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning back into It's Just D. Marie. This is your girl, D. Marie. I mean, come on. Who else is it going to be? Like, the show is named It's Just D. Marie, so it's just going to be D. Marie. Anyway, I digress. How y'all feeling? How did the first episode land for you? Now, listen, I'm going to be completely honest, okay? I was a little under the influence when I recorded that, and it's a little slower. It moves a little slower than I meant it to. Like, the pace is a little down. It's a little depressing. It's a little dry. And you know what? That's okay, because that's true, and that's me, and that's how I was feeling that day. And to be honest with you, like, having to call yourself out forever, right? Because I don't know if this is ever going to come down or when it's ever going to come down, but like having to call yourself out to all of your friends and family and everyone who might be listening around the world at any given point, right? In perpetuity, because this is going to stay up. I'm not going to take it down, right? And having to do that out loud, like, was pretty hard, but I know it's necessary. Like, I really do try to be love and light in the world. I mean that, but like, you can't deny the fact that I've done some shit and I've been through some shit. So I just wanted to get that out there, and yeah, it just felt like the first step. So that's what I did, and there it is. I'm really looking forward to talking to you guys today and to the jam I'm gonna drop at the end. How are you guys feeling the musical break at the end? Tell me what you think about it. Tony Jones, were you feeling her? Listen, Take Up Space, Sis is one of my bangers, and it actually led to the topic that we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about following passions today and why it's important to follow your passions and figure out how to hear the little yes inside of you. So, once upon a time, I had someone say to me that I was self-indulgent. And it was because I believe that it might have been around when I was starting barber school. So I was working at a post office. I was a temp at the post office, and I was like on a 360-day contract. So after 360 days, the postmaster decides if they want to keep you, and if they do, then you become a permanent, employee. You get onboarded and all of these things. And I was a casual clerk. It was a very hard work physically, but I was in the best shape of my life. Body was tight. If you hear what I'm saying, body was tight, but it was hard. It was hard labor. It was very early in the morning. So I get up, I go to the post office, and then I would go home, change clothes. Sometimes I just went straight to barber school. So, the question was like, D, why don't you just keep working at the post office? And I was like, I don't want to work at the post office. And they were like, why? And, I just didn't have a good answer. I'm just like, I just don't want to do that work for a living. It feels soul sucking. And they said to me, I don't know when you became so self-indulgent. And that sat with me, clearly it sat with me for a while, because I can't remember 8 out of the 10 things people say to me, but that thing stuck. And I wasn't sure why it stuck, but it hit me some type of way, and I had to sit with it for years. Because it's like, is it true? Am I being not ungrateful, but silly? Right? Am I being frivolous? Am I being self-indulgent? Am I being a brat? I just don't want to work that hard. Like, I don't want to work that hard. No, thank you. Because that's not my personality. So if that's who I was being, then I'm like, I really gotta take another look at this thing. But what I've come to learn and wholeheartedly believe, is that the Holy Spirit is the seed of life. It is the seed of creation. It's the seed of divinity. It is in not all, I believe all things. I think if it ever had breath or life in it, it has a seed of divinity in it. And if it didn't have breath or life in it, if it's plastic, right, or something like that, it still in some way has a seed of the divine, because all things came from one source, right? Even if you look at it scientifically, the Big Bang, like all things came from one source. And how did that source create life? I believe that in the creation story that God spoke life, and that is the Big Bang. And all things came from that, which means if all things come from the divine, all things are divine, right? If all things came from your mother, all people that came from your mother are your siblings. Everything is related. You understand? So if we look at that cosmically, then the same has to be true on a level, right? All things had to come from source. So in that way, all things are divine. Everything. Air, plants, plastic, marijuana, lighters, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, ceramics, iPods, all things have a seed of the divine in them. They have to. All matter, all energy. If it came from one source, and I believe, that source was God speaking life into the world and existence into the world, then all things are divine. Tie back to the source. I've also come to believe that source of divinity in you is what gives you your passions and your urges, right? Like, we can be drawn to a thing and not know why we're drawn to it, but we just get this pull, this feeling like, I don't know, maybe I should do this. And a lot of times it can be a life-changing decision in a positive way, or sometimes in a negative way. We don't know how God is going to use our story, or the divine, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it. We don't know how each little interaction is going to change the outcome of the world. We just move through life, and those ripples get sent out, and they affect change. Like, look at how I became a barber, right? I was with an ex, and she wasn't an ex at the time, but we were having a conversation talking about entrepreneurialism, if that's a word, entrepreneurism, however, we were talking about it, and we decided that we were going to start a business together, and it was going to be a barbershop. And that's how I became a barber. I did cut hair before that, a little bit here and there, but I was never passionate about hair. It was a business idea for me. It was a low barrier to entry way to become self-reliant, to become independent financially. It was never about cutting hair for me. It was always about the business aspect. And that one conversation, I decided to go to barber school from that. And from going to barber school, I was able to open my own shop. I was able to go teach and influence other people and be on magazines and, have my work printed. And it matriculated into so many other areas of my life. I've met people. I met my best friend cutting her hair. If you're listening to this, you probably found me on social media, or you know me personally. But odds are social media. And if you found me on social media, you probably know me from being a barber. And so all of these things, like even me sitting here, the board that I'm recording this on, the pod mic and the boom arm and everything, the computer, everything in my house has come from cutting hair, which is nuts. But that from that one conversation. And so I believe that if you follow your heart, and when your heart says yes, it will draw you into the things that you are meant for. And I don't believe I'm meant to cut hair for the rest of my life, but it was definitely destined for me to be doing that to a certain degree. And so if the Holy Spirit is in us, divinity is in us, God is in us, source, universe, creation is in us, and it uses this seed of divinity to point you in the right directions, then not listening to the yes and the no inside of you is to defy God. I'm gonna run that back because that's a big statement, but I need y'all to understand this in order for me to move on to my next point. And I'm not trying to teach, but I'm just, this is how my mind works. This is what I believe, and this is why I am who I am. If the seed of divinity is in all living things, and it's the thing that pushes you right, towards what you're meant for. Now, this is not factional. This is just my opinions, my beliefs, right? So I don't want anybody dropping in the comments, yeah, but blah, 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 blah. This is what I believe. This is my guiding compass. This is what moves me through the world and the way that I move, okay? If the seed of the divine is in you and nudging you in certain directions to say, hey, this thing is for you. Hey, stay out of that elevator, right? Hey, this person isn't good for you. Hey, you may want to look around the corner before you head that way, right? I 100% believe that. If I don't do that, I am defying God's wishes for my life. And I think many people do this. I think 99% of the world does this. And it is why so many people are fucking miserable, because they don't listen to the passions and the pulls and the nudges of the divine in their life. If God is in you, speaking to you all the time, even if it's not an audible voice, even if it's just a butterfly in your stomach, or that feeling, that drop feeling in your stomach, where you're like, I don't know. That's God, y'all. That's divinity. That's source. That's creation saying, stay out the bushes, bro. And when you get that, when you meet somebody, and I'm not talking about romantic, I'm talking about like just a friend, you meet somebody and they light you up, and your eyes, you feel your eyes get big and you feel your heart jump a little bit. And it, again, does not have to be a romantic connection. If you feel me, you feel me. If you know, you know. If somebody lights you up and their spirit just flames you in some way, that person is a yes. That's the divine inside of you saying, go this way, talk to them, spend more time here, investigate this, what feels good here and why. And let me tell you something else. Many times you get that same feeling about someone who is wrong for you, ultimately, long term, but there's a lesson there. And so it might be a long-term no, but it's still a short-term yes. These are important things to learn to recognize inside your body. I got turned on to this again. If you know, you know. I've said it a million times if you in my inner circle, but just in case you're not. Finding Your Own North Star by Martha Beck is the jam. It is the Bible on this. It is the Bible on learning how to hear your yes and connect to your yes and follow it through life. I want to follow my North Star through my life. I want to be led by the divine, by creation, by the thing that makes the leaves on the trees grow and turn colors and then fall off and then do it again the next year. That energy, that divine wisdom, I want to be in tune with that. I don't know about y'all, but I want to be in tune with that. I believe that is the greatest source of wisdom that exists, and I want to be in tune with it. And it's in us, and that's nuts that we stop listening to it. It's nuts that, the energy that creates life in this world is inside of us, and we don't listen to it because we so busy listening to each other tell us how we're supposed to live our lives. That's literally insane. It's nuts. But this is how we move through life. And when we move through life in this way, we're unhappy, we're bitter, and we feel like we're missing it. We feel like there has to be more. And you know what? There is, and we are missing it. There is more, and we are missing it because we're not listening to the God inside of us. It's really not that complicated, y'all. Where spirit flames up and says, hell yeah, go that way. Do that thing. Engage in that. Even if it's not popular. Even if people tell you you're nuts. I don't give a fuck. God said you're not. Like, who are you gonna listen to? Like, what are we doing? What are we really doing here when we're giving more credence to what the person next to us says than the divinity inside of ourselves? What are we doing and where are we going? This shit makes no sense to me. So to me, following your passions, following the little nudges of yeses and the nudges of nos inside of us cannot possibly be self-indulgent. As a matter of fact, it's my service to not only myself and my God, but also my fellow humans. Because God's not going to have me do anything that ultimately is going to be not in the best interest of those around me. That's not who God is. God is love and light, and He wants all of us to express ourselves to our highest potentials. And so the way He says go is the way I'm gonna go, because I want that. I want that. And I don't just want it for myself. I want it for my nieces and nephews and for my future child, so they can look and say, look at what God did in her life. Look at what divinity did. Look at what creation did. Look at what's possible. When we are stuck in the muck and going to work and the problems with, transportation, and I ran out of diapers and I have no money and I don't know how to go get more, who am I going to contact? When we need a break and we need to get out of the fucking house, or we are going to literally lose our shit. We don't know where to turn. We don't know what to do. And we get so stuck in that level of consciousness and that level of life that we don't think any higher than that. A lot of times we think God has completely turned His back on us, but I believe that is just God throwing monkey wrenches, saying, stay out of there. I told you not to go this way. Get out of here. This is not what you are supposed to be doing. Back up, turn around. Think about when you were happy. What were you doing? That's what I want you to go do. That's why you were happy doing it. It's positive reinforcement. We know this with children, but we don't think about it with God and ourselves. God is going to make you happy doing the thing He wants you to be happy doing, and He's going to make you miserable doing things that He does not want you doing. And this is plain as day and goddamn common sense to me, but it might be revolutionary for some of you guys. God's in you. He wants amazing, awesome things for you. The seed of life, the seed of divinity, the seed of creation is seated in your solar plexus. For me, I don't know where it is for everybody, but for me, it's solar plexus. It's right there in the gut. And when I listen, even if it's, you might want to pick up those keys, go put them in the car. You don't know when you're going to need them. Without fail, I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Oftentimes, that seed of what we're supposed to be doing comes to us in childhood, and we ignore it because we believe we're supposed to go do something else with our lives. We're listening to the influences of guidance counselors, parents, teachers, family. I remember, with the best of intentions, one time somebody said to me, when I said I wanted to buy real estate and I wanted to give it to homeless people, so a certain percent, almost, don't take this idea either. I still may do this when my money get big. Or do it. Shit, everybody do it. Everybody could do this. So investing in real estate, getting a couple buildings, right? And maybe if I get a 3-flat, use 2 units to pay for the third unit, which, we could be used for transitional housing, or, somebody, refugee, right, housing, or somebody trying to get back on their feet, something to that effect. I thought that was an amazing idea. And somebody said, oh, we all think we can save the world when we're young, right? Best of intentions. And this is somebody who knows me, loves me, had the best intentions with that coming out of their mouth. They were just trying to say, hey, just let's try to be realistic. But what's not realistic about that idea? That's quite feasible. It's quite possible. What's not feasible about that? So a lot of times people will speak against what your dreams and hopes are, just trying to keep you realistic. But God knows better. God knows bigger. He ain't worried about how many pairs of shoes you got. He wants you to be happy. And through that happiness, we find success and peace and joy in the everyday things. And that's how I want to live my life. I don't need a mansion. I never need to earn, crazy amounts of money. Never. I want a Bonneville Triumph, a Ford Bronco with the soft top, and I want a house on the beach. That house on the beach is the big grab, right? But it's not that big. Look at the universe and all of the abundance around us all of the time, everywhere, and tell me that asking for a beach house is a big ask. It's not. It's not. And we got to get out of that poverty mentality, man. Like, I don't think that's doable in my lifetime. I don't think I can really grasp that or attain that. Why? The fact that you don't believe you can grasp or attain it is the reason why you have not grasped it or attained it to this day. So that's it, y'all. That's today's episode. Listen, y'all, I am so excited about today's cut from the Right Foot playlist. Again, you can find it on Spotify. Search the Right Foot playlist, or you can just add me as a friend, probably. I don't know. Let me not say that because I don't even know how it works. But it's the Right Foot playlist. It's full of my affirmation music, the music that gets me going in the morning. And let me tell y'all about Chris and Teeb. Chris and Teeb, listen, they got bangers. Okay, Tony Jones, yes, that's my girl. We gonna get on some Londrell because he kills it as well. But when I tell y'all, if I'm having a bad day, if I'm not feeling up, all I have to do is listen to this song, First by Chris and Teeb, and this mug bangs so hard. I dance my ass off around my house to this jam, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. Check it out. It's First by Chris and Teeb.
I'm enough. Yeah. My needs matter. Yeah. I'm for myself. I'ma put myself first. 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 I'ma put myself first.
Listen to the lyrics.
My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. 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 My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. My needs matter. I got myself. I'm enough. I'ma put myself first. I'ma put myself first. I'ma put myself first. I'ma put myself first. I'ma put myself first.
Is that a banger? Is that a banger? Isn't that, that little tropical island vibe? Oh, come on. Oh, love that song. So that's First by Chris and Teeb. Again, you can find all of these songs on my The Right Foot playlist on Spotify. I might drop a link in there. Matter of fact, I think I could do that. Drop a link in the comments. If you feeling the jams, put it in the comments. Give me a little musical note so I know that you feeling the jams. If you felt my conversation today about finding your passion, following your passion, let me know in the comments, man. If the conversation can help anyone else, like, I'm so here for it. Again, Finding Your Own North Star by Martha Beck. I'm going to drop that in the comments as well. I'll drop an Amazon link to it so you guys know where to find that. It is the book that started my personal development growth journey, and it just keeps getting deeper and deeper, man. And it's a book I go back to again and again and again, and it just really teaches you how to feel that yes inside of yourself and just go hard for it. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being part of my tribe. As usual, you can follow me on all of the socials at Just D Marie. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast and drop some comments below. What else do you guys think we should talk about? How did that conversation hit you? Did any light bulbs pop on for you during that conversation? Do you agree with my theory? Or do you think I'm kind of nuts? I'm okay with it either way because I'm following the God inside of me, so I don't need affirmation, confirmation from the outside. I'm just curious. Did it speak to you? Did you find something true in it? I'd love to know. And the last thing, don't forget, if you're into receiving some little positive nuggets whenever they stir in my spirit on my text thread, the Positivity Push, make sure that you text to me #PosPush, POSPUSH to 773-653-1980. That's where you can sign up for my Positivity Push. I never sell your information. It is just me sending out little blurbs saying, hey, what's up? Keep going. I see you and I love you and all of that stuff. All right? And you know how I got to wrap it up. I pray that you have love and light, health and wealth, and most importantly, strength where you need it the most. I love y'all. Take care of each other.